Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Design Cafe. In this week's episode, we are going to be talking about the 10 design mistakes that you make in your living space. Come on, let's get into it. Okay, y'all. You guys know that I recently moved. I've been singing that for a couple weeks now, right? But I am seeing some challenges that I am thinking you guys may be having as well. And I keep saying to myself, what if I was not a designer? I would not probably think of these things, right? And I would be making a lot of mistakes. So I saw 10 mistakes that people probably make when they're trying to design their space. Maybe that's why you get frustrated and just throw in the towel. Maybe it's why your space don't turn out the way you wanted it to turn out, and then you start to give excuses with maybe that style don't work in my home. If you want a style to work in your home, there are ways that you can make it work in your home. Not every piece is going to be for your home, but you can make a style work. A style doesn't only go with one piece, okay? So I thought of that and I was like, what if I was not a designer? How would I be designing my space? So hence me deciding to sit down and do this video for you today. So let's talk about the first design mistake that you make when you're trying to design your living space. The first design mistake, and we have a video on it, so I want you to go to this card right here and you can watch that video, or I may just link them down in the description. But you can definitely go to this video and you can see the process, just in case you say, Judith, what is a design board? She made one for you. So guys, check down in the description and I will link the videos down there, because I always say I'm gonna put the cards and I never end up putting the cards. But it's easier for me to put the videos down in the description. Guys, you want to create an inspirational board. What an inspirational board does is it gives you inspiration, is exactly what it says. It gives you inspiration to the direction that you want to go. Now in that video, I showed you guys how to first create like a mood board. And what the mood board does is it pulls together all the different elements that you like, things that you see. It could be a color, it could be a fluffy rabbit, all these, it could be like anything, but anything that that made you feel a mood and you would like your space to feel. Like a rabbit is very fluffy, very soft looking, very clean looking, you know, that the white ones, like that's what you get when you see a rabbit. So maybe that's what you want to see in your space. You want your space to feel very comfortable, very warm. Maybe you want to use those fur rugs, you know, in your space, and that's why you chose the rabbit. It can be anything, literally. What sparks something inside of you? What gives you that mood? And then we went from designing, doing our mood board, and then we started to do our inspirational board. Now on the inspirational board would mostly have those things that you're actually thinking about putting in your space. Okay, so guys, you see this is the inspirational board that I created, and then I decided to say, you know what, I'm going to use this in my new space. However, when I got into my new space, as though I did not know what my new space was going to look like, but now that I'm in my new space, that inspiration board has to be tweaked, because the way I had the board, everything is not going to work in my space. Hence why I decided to make this video. What if you have an inspiration board and then you start to realize that these items may not work in your space? How can you tweak this to make it work and still have that look that you were going for in your space? Maybe you can continue with the color palette that you were going for. That would definitely keep that ball rolling on the look that you're going for in your space. Maybe you want to continue with the soft palettes that you were going for, the warm lighting that you were going for. You can still continue with those things. You may not have the exact furniture pieces, but you can still use what you have and make it work. And that is what I am doing, right? I am changing up this design board to make what I have work in my space, and then I'm gonna see what I'm going to purchase. Now, we all saw, if you didn't watch last week's vlog, go back and watch last week's vlog. I spoke about that. It looked like I'm gonna have to put a dresser in my bedroom. Typically, I would not do that. I will not put a dresser in my bedroom. I would put it in a closet. However, I don't have space in my closet to put it. Now, what's confusing me a little bit is that in my house, I had 2 closets. And I had a dresser in one of the closets. I have gotten rid of a lot of clothes. But the more clothes I got rid of, the more clothes I am seeing. That's confusing the heck out of me. I don't understand why I don't have space for my clothes. It is confusing me to the highest height, because in my small closet, I have gotten rid of a lot of stuff from that small closet. So I only needed a little bit of space, and some of those clothes in that closet were babes. So I'm confused as to why my stuff is not fitting in this closet. This is a long, it has a long piece go across that way. I mean, I took some of the space out, and you will see that in the vlog, but I don't get it. So because of that, I have to digress. I have to now go and get a dresser to put in the bedroom. However, I want to try to find something that's going to work with my design style. I saw some that I like, and I was more looking at price versus the color of them. And I'm like, don't forget, you have a design style that you're sticking with. No, where you going with this heavy black piece? Even though we had the nightstands that were that navy blue. So if anything, I need to stick within those colors, if you see where I'm coming from. So hence, I need to now tweak my inspirational board so that my space would reflect that of the inspirational board. Now, I really love that design, so I really want to stick as close as possible to it. Also, I want to show you guys how you create these spaces, and also, even though you have to tweak, you still came out with this look that you were going for. The next thing I want you guys to think about in your space is, where is your windows located? The location of your windows is critical to the layout of your space. If you have too many windows in your space, you have to consider, am I going to block off one of these windows? Maybe I'm going to add drapery, go straight across a wall so that my bed can fit on these windows. Because I have seen some places where in a bedroom, they have windows on every freaking wall. And I mean the tall windows on every wall. And it's like, where am I going to put my bed? And it makes everything feels very odd. Now, I am going to try to show you a sketch. If I can't find a sketch online, I'll probably sketch one out and show you that when you walk into a bedroom, if your door is down here, your bed needs to be here. You shouldn't walk into the bedroom and straight ahead you see your bed. That's not a good feng shui. It's not a good design. Sometimes you cannot help it. But if you can help it, your bed, you should walk into the room and turn and the bed be that way. Not when you walk in, your headboard is right there. If that makes any sense. That's why I said I would probably sketch it out, or I will see if I find a picture online to show you. Hence, your bed, when you have when you have too many windows in your space, it's kind of hard to lay out your furniture, and you have to give up certain things. So it's very important to determine, to see where your windows are, along with where your doors are, so that you would know how to start to lay out your room. You may not be a big sketcher, you may not be a big designer, but I think you know how to draw 4 walls. One go this way, that way, that way. Mark on it where a window is, where a door is, and then start to use little square boxes to look like maybe a bed, maybe a sofa or a coffee table, if you have to write on a coffee table, so that you can start to lay the space out. Do some sketching, sit there, sketch some stuff out, See where your windows are. See if those windows are bother to you. See if you don't mind covering them. We do not advise covering natural light coming into a space, but sometimes these architects build these buildings, design these places, and they do not consider design, how functional is going to be for the person that's coming to live in that space. So sometimes we have to kind of break the rules to make a space work for us. Okay, but typically you will not want to cover a window. You would want to try to alter your design so that the space will work for you. The third thing that I want to talk about is consider bringing some furniture from your old space. Consider reusing some of your furniture that you already have. Can you maybe upscale that furniture by doing a DIY to it? What are the different, how can you make this work? Maybe you can take it and use it in a different space within your home. You can move something from one space to the next. But I am a big advocate of shopping your home first. I always sing that song. I never used to do it. I used to run out and buy. Hence me having the issues that I am having right now. But over the years, I have decided to start shopping my home more. Shop my home and stick to what I have found and used in my home versus going out and saying, ooh, this is going to look better than what I have. No, it's not. You can make anything look good. Okay? So that's one of the big things. Consider shopping your home first and using pieces from one place to the next. I always tell you guys, one of the big ways to upscale a space is to take your rug from your living room, put it in your bedroom, or from your bedroom out into your living room, and you can completely change up the space that way. So that's one of the big things that I always talk about, and I want you guys to consider is using some of your furniture that you already have. Another reason why I would say that is that even though you may not be keeping the furniture, like we know I am not keeping this blue chair, right? Me having this blue chair in this space, what it's helping to do is it's helping me to get a feel of how much space I have. So before, I know I wanted to buy a very large sofa, not large, but a longer sofa than normal. Sofa that would fit about 4 people. And because this blue chair is one that would hold 3 people comfortably, I am seeing anything bigger than this might be too big for my space. So this is a good thing that I have the older furniture in here and that I can use these furniture to start to scale out and place my pieces in my space. Also, my dining room table, the kitchenette, the glass kitchenette table that I have in here, I definitely know that that size is too big and I need to get something in about that 47 inches in diameter. So using my older furniture in this space is also helping me to see scale in my space, to see circulation in my space. As much as I wanted to keep my coffee table, I'm seeing that the coffee table is too big for the space. So now I have to get a whole new coffee table. So definitely try to, if you can, use your older furniture in your space and start to look at it. Don't just say, oh, this couch is old, I need to throw it out. But use that piece to see if maybe I need to scale down, or maybe I need to scale up, or maybe I need to stay the same size. When you have that piece in your space, were you saying that this piece is too big for the space? What was it? Did the circulation not feel right? What was it about that piece? Outside of it being old and you wanting to replace it, what about the piece worked in your space or did not work in your space? The fourth thing that I want you to consider is storage. Storage is vital. Vital, vital, vital. I have not realized how important storage was until I moved into my new home. All the storage I created in my old house, I created them, said, I need storage. I need somewhere to put these stuff. But I didn't see how important it was. Storage is important. consider buying furniture that can give you some kind of storage. Whether it's going to be a cabinet, a console table. Don't just have an open console table that's just fancy. It's open, you throw it on the wall, but it cannot give you storage. Consider beds that are going to give you storage. If I had a bed right now that has storage, I would not need a dresser. The reason why I'm not replacing my bed, because it's more expensive to replace the bed than to buy a dresser. However, if I replace my bed, I would not need a dresser. It's like $1,000 in difference. She ain't doing that. So, consider storage when you are designing your new space. If you're purchasing any new furniture, do not just look at the form of the furniture, but how functional can this piece of furniture be for you. If you need to store something, can you store something in that piece of furniture? Consider storage. However, too much storage can hamper you because it will cause you to keep buying because you feel you have somewhere to store it. So, that's the pros, that's the con of it. However, we need storage. Try to get furniture that is more functional and that gives you the storage that you are going to need. Because if you're anything like me, you need storage. The fifth thing that I'm going to talk to you about that I see that is a big design mistake, and if you do not understand how to measure, you don't understand measurement and so forth, but you know how to use that painter's blue tape, use the painter's blue tape to outline your furniture pieces. When you go online, it's going to tell you how big this furniture piece is. Mark it out the size where you want to place it. Give yourself the clearances that you need. You know, I have a video where I spoke about clearances and how far a table should be away from your sofa. Line out the new sofa that you want to put blue tape. If you want to put artwork on the wall, get the size of the artwork, mark out the blue tape on the wall showing the artwork. Live with it for a few days to see if this scale is looking right for you. Maybe the artwork is too small, or maybe it's too big, or maybe it's too many, and we do not want too many. Okay, so mark out your space. That is the safest way to do this, is to mark your space out and get a feel of the space with the items. If you want to put something on your walls, mark it out with the blue tape first. Live with it for a little bit, whether it's a day or two, and you'll start to see, okay, that piece up on that wall right there, that size, maybe it's gonna make that space look too cluttered. I've been seeing a lot of videos on YouTube with people, you know, showing you guys the decor, and you know, they designing their houses, and the house, you look at it and it's just so much, is you don't know what to look at. Everything, it's just so much stuff. Okay, and I want you guys to not feel cluttered in your home, but feel comfortable in your home. So be careful. Mark out your spaces first before you go and purchase items. The sixth thing I want to talk about is don't settle. Don't settle for ETA. Don't settle for cost. And don't settle for quality. Good things are worth waiting for. If you see a piece of furniture that you want, but the ETA is maybe 3 weeks out, maybe it is 3 months out, but you know that is the perfect piece for you, Rome was not built in one day. Wait for that perfect piece. Do not settle and go get something else that does not have the quality that you want, that would give you the longevity. You may have waited 3 months for it, but you're going to get 10 years out of it, versus that piece you probably got in a week and you only get a year out of it. Do not settle because of cost. Do not settle because of ETA, and do not settle on the quality of the piece that you're about to purchase. We speak a lot about performance fabric. Do you want a piece that don't have performance fabric versus something that has performance fabric? you kind of want to always try your best to get the majority of your furniture that is upholstered furniture, I should say, in performance fabric. Yes, we can put the Scotch Guard on them, but we're going to forever having to keep putting the Scotch Guard on it. And sometimes this, if you don't do it right, it don't work. The Scotch Guard literally don't work. So it's best just to save yourself the hassle and the time and the stress. Get the good quality first. Try to put good quality furniture in your home. So, I am not saying there's anything wrong with IKEA. There's certain things that I would go and purchase from IKEA. Like, I love their pack system. I would purchase that. I wouldn't purchase a sofa. Like, I see those things for a college student. See, you just want that stuff for college, right? For your home, I would say no. Purchase things that have good quality. Majority of your furniture piece should be quality because you want that longevity in the piece. So, do not settle. The seventh thing we're going to talk about is too much. Too much of one thing can spoil the design. Just like eating too much chocolate or too much ice cream can upset your stomach or make you get fat. Too much of anything ain't good. It's gluttony. Can we have gluttony in design? Yes, we can. Stop being so gluttonous in design. Stop having so much stuff. Stop filling up every wall. Stop filling up every chair. Stop putting so much pillows on your bed. Oh, stop. Stop having so much stuff out. That's why I said you need storage. You do not have to use everything that you have. Store some stuff away. Use some stuff in certain seasons. And if you get tired of that, then put those away and pull new stuff out. But stop feeling like you need to have all your stuff out at the same goddamn time. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. It's driving me crazy. Don't do it, okay? Let's remain friends while you put some of that stuff away. Yes, you bought it. Yes, it's yours. You can use it if you want. But if you want your space to look designed, if you want your space to look luxurious, what you're going to do is you're going to put some of that stuff away. Stop over-designing your spaces. Stop feeling you need to create a vignette, different vignettes on every section of your table. Child, our table needs one vignette. Why does it have 3 and 4? Now, you know this is upsetting me because I saw it on YouTube, right? The thumbnails got me. I saw the thumbnail, so I clicked. And then less than 3 minutes into the video, I was like, oh no, baby, oh no. Why you do that? And then you're telling people what to do. No. I had to click off. Guys, you know I'm supposed to be an actor, right? I was supposed to have been an actor. Yeah. I was supposed to. I was supposed to be an actor as well. But I chose design. The 8th thing that I want to discuss with you right now is determining what is your focal point. What is going to be your focal point in your space? Now, a space can have more than one focal point. But I would tell you not to go over 2 focal points. And if you're going to have more than one focal point, let them not be on the same visual. Okay? Meaning if I'm looking at straight ahead, I am seeing one focal point on that wall. But if that space have another focal point, I need to turn. Okay? Now when you have an open concept home, you want to try to have different focal points because those focal points are going to determine where that space starts, where it ends. It kind of give diameter around that particular space. So that is why you would want to have more than one focal point. However, if you have a small space, I would say only have one focal point in that space. One may say, Judith, what is a focal point, girl? What are you talking about? Well, let me tell you, since you asked. A focal point is an interested piece, art, something that you created that create this conversation. When you look at it, because of what you're seeing right here, the rest of the space was designed around it. It brings focal, it brings attention, it brings conversation. The way you created that vignette is like, okay, this is the big piece that's happening in the room, and everything else is accessory around it, right? So maybe you may have a wall that you may have your TV, your fireplace, you have your nice big decors going on. That is the focal point of that room, that wall. And then when you add your sofa and your coffee table and your lounge chairs, those things are accessorizing your focal point. So your focal point is that one piece or that one vignette that you created within a space that is the focal visual thing in that space. That's the first thing that you see when you come into that space. The first thing you will pay attention to is that area, that piece, that wall, that vignette, whatever it is. That is what a focal point is. Okay, so create focal points in your space, and it's going to help you to not use so much stuff in your space, because for you, this is my focal point. Whether it's even painting a wall, you may paint that one wall something a completely different color to the rest of your space. You just created a focal point in your space. So that is what a focal point is, and you always want to create a focal point in a space if you want to have a great design. If everything in your space is competing and fighting with each other, that's a designer fighting with you not wanting to listen. We fighting. You having that fight in your space. It's because you don't have a focal point and you don't have any focus, and you just all focus and you need to be focused. Have a focal point in your space. Listen, this video is all over the place because I've been seeing some stuff that's just upsetting me. And I'm sorry that I had to bring it to Design Cafe, but I had to bring it to Design Cafe. We started off nice, and now I'm getting all these memories of all these things that I've been seeing. The 10th thing and final thing that I want to discuss on the top 10 design mistakes that you make in your home is not taking your time. Take your time. A good design takes time. Take time thinking about your space, about your layout, determining if this layout is going to work for the life that I live or for the space that I want. Take your time. A well thought out space will make you feel so accomplished, and will make your space feel so put together when you do put it together. Your space will feel well created and put together. So take your time to do your design. Take your time to research, to see what things you like, to see if those things look good together. It's like putting a primary color or putting a warm color with a cool color. Do those two colors work together? Are they fighting with each other? I can't love everything and want everything in my space. Everything does not have to be in your space. Something may look good in someone else's space, but it may not work in your space. So take your time to create the design that's going to work for you. Okay guys, that's the end of today's video. This is another Design Cafe. This is another banger. I hope you guys learned what you were supposed to learn. I hope you got the education that you were supposed to get, because I gave it. Okay, whether you like how I gave it, I still gave it. So don't be offended. Just take what I gave and utilize it. It was for free. It's free knowledge. And since it's for free, you don't tell me how to give it to you. I'm playing. Guys, this was a fun video for me. I got some stuff off my chest. You guys know how I feel about seeing some of the stuff that I see on YouTube, because this is where you guys come for a lot of your information versus going and researching it via Google or even on Pinterest, child. You do better on Pinterest than some of these stuff that I'm seeing here on YouTube. Guys, on that note, I will see you guys next week. And don't forget, don't allow your budget to determine your design. Bye. Always remember, never let your budget dictate your style, but create a space that you love. Design for life.